Now, people are concerned that Bitcoin and Ethereum has fallen off their highs, but when you look at the price, it's still very high, right? It's still, should people be worried at this point?
No, I think we've seen this incredible volatility when something is disruptive. Think about Tesla. Tesla has the same DNA volatility as Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
In fact, Ethereum is more volatile than Bitcoin, like silver is more volatile than gold. But whenever something is disruptive and it's like digital money is coming into the market stream and in full throttle this past year, it's going to have all these naysayers and early adopters. So we have seen now the gold market, come through a correction here, and everyone's focused on Ethereum and Bitcoin. I say that both are incredible alternative asset classes.
Okay. Now let's talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum now. I know you've done a lot of research on the relationship between these two cryptocurrencies. I'm looking at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart as a ratio. It spiked earlier in the year with Ethereum going way up, and now it's actually coming back down to historical averages. So it's more or less normalized to the average. From here, do you see Ethereum continue to outperform Bitcoin?
I do, because they're very different, David. So when you hear about JP Morgan stable coin or other people coming with these stable coins, they basically are using Ethereum algorithm. That is a pent up demand. And now we have this explosion in decentralized finance known as DeFi. Last year grew by 20 billion. I think in the first month of this year it was 30 billion. It's all in the backbone of Ethereum. So Ethereum is a unique animal in its own way. It's the second biggest market cap and most liquid cryptocurrency. But I think Bitcoin is like the collector's item and what's called Metcalfe's law.
Yeah.
Metcalfe's law explains why you're seeing this rise in crypto.
When you look at Satoshi's white paper, the origins of Bitcoin and the original protocols for Bitcoin, were you surprised that it's become more of an asset for speculation over time?
Well, I don't think so. I think it's a remarkable piece of engineering, but really it's on the backbone of telecom. This concept that Satoshi basically took was already there and polished it up to create decentralized finance, as just the same as a lot of gold bugs don't like central banks printing all this money, practicing MMT. So I remain very bullish, but they're going to be extremely volatile.
Last question about the markets. You mentioned that these kids are speculating. Well, when they get older, Frank, when they become close to retirement age and they don't want to speculate in volatile assets anymore, would they be dumping their Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then the biggest holders are now would then release them into the markets and we'll have a big sell-off?
I think that it's early innings. Sure. In this digital world, and I think it's only going to grow. It's going to remain extremely volatile. We saw that now on PayPal you can buy Bitcoin. If you go to some of these websites, in particular in stocks, you can go to Robinhood and you can buy Bitcoin. So it's a big game changer what's going on in the capital markets.
Okay, now Hive, let's talk about Hive now. It was named 2020's most liquid TSX listed stock. I'll let you explain the good news here. What does that mean?
So Hive has been the most profitable so far crypto mining company when you take a look at all these other companies in the US and Canada. And the future is how much more equipment can you get? We're seeing a huge shortfall. There's no more equipment, just like there's no chips for car companies and they're having a difficulty with GPU chips. We're seeing this also for crypto.
Okay, so what were the major challenges for you then setting up a crypto miner? I mean, I'd imagine that it's a very different business model than a resource, a physical asset miner, like a gold miner or a silver miner.
So we are mining a commercial asset that we can sell. It goes 24/7. It's a phenomenal volatility also in your profit margins. So you can have this incredible swings in your gross margins. Right now, we're experiencing 90% gross profit margins in mining Ethereum. Even at 1,500, we're corrected from 2,000 range. So I think that this is a phenomenal industry and there's going to be many new derivatives come from it, and it has nothing but lots of blue sky, but extremely volatile.
Yeah, I'd like to understand the mining industry a little bit more in terms of the crypto space, not gold mining. But drawing parallels to the gold mining space, do you think the crypto miners are facing some of the same challenges like the gold miners are? Gold miners are running out of reserves. Are crypto miners running out of reserves, so to speak?
Well, definitely when you look at Bitcoin in particular, with this halving taking place every 4 years, and a finite number of Bitcoins will be ever produced. And what understand it, David, every 10 minutes, it's a drop puck.
Yeah,
And all these miners around the world go in to get the chance to validate that transaction. And if they do, they earn 6.25 new Bitcoins. And it's extremely competitive. So you have to have the fastest technology.
sure.
And to survive the downdrafts, you have to have the cheapest electricity, or you're going to have great difficulty. I think that we're going to see these data centers become very valuable because we're all Zooming it now or using these other service providers. COVID was a big game changer for how people conduct themselves for learning in school, for business transactions, etc.
I know that physical miners have all-in sustaining costs. For example, gold miners typically that's around $800 to $1,000. The all-in sustaining cost. Is there a floor for Bitcoin and Ethereum price for you? If it hits below that floor, it becomes unprofitable to mine.
Well, it depends what technology. If you got your S9s on right now, they're profitable. But as soon as it falls below 15,000, you're no longer profitable.
Sure.
And you're going to need S19s really to be able to stay ahead of the game. But I think you have to have the cheap electricity. You have to have the new chips that are out there, and there's a shortage of them. So it's a very bullish scenario for crypto mining. It's a very profitable business if you can have access to these chips and you have transparency. Now, there's a couple of new guys coming in to knock off Hive success, etc. But they're not Hive, and I think that investors out there have to be very, very conscientious on transparency, because that's something that's been a big issue for me in the whole Hive blockchain experience. They have to make sure the track record of these people, that they believe in good corporate governance, that they do believe in the green energy. These are important factors because a lot of them don't.
Yes. All right. Well, Frank, continued success as always. Thank you very much for your updates today on the crypto space. It was a great talk. Thank you very much.
Happy investing.